Hello and welcome to Martin Maths. We've got Friday's non-calculator paper 1 coming up. So we're going to prepare for that by going through a GCSE foundation non-calculator paper. And I'm going to try and see how many marks I can pick up that are quite quick, just the 1 and 2 mark questions. So I'm going to go through this paper, let's say give ourselves 15 minutes, get off a really good start in the exam and try and see what we can do in just 15 minutes. And I'm only going to stick with the 1 and 2 mark questions. Don't have to do too much reading and can just pick up some quick wins really. So here are 4-digit cards. I'm going to write down the smallest 4-digit number. So which is the smallest number there? I can see as a 5, another 5, and leaving the largest numbers there. So that must be the smallest because any other permutation of that would put higher values in the thousands or the thousands, hundreds or tens. So hopefully we'll get that 1 mark. Then arrange the cards to give the greatest possible answer to the calculation. So we've got two-digit numbers. So I want to put the larger values in the tens. So I want to put 60 and 70 and leaving the smaller ones there. Because if I leave anything else in the tens, they'd be smaller. So that'll hopefully give us 2 marks in less than 2 minutes. We'll move to a pictogram question. Incomplete pictogram shows information about the number of pets. Got 2 marks to go through here. A row for fish has not been completed and the class owns 72 pets altogether. So if each of these, look at the key, is 4, so that's 4, 8, 12 plus 3, so that's going to be 15. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times 4, that's 20. 1, 2, 3 times 4 is 12 plus half, that must be 14. That's 8, 9, 10, 11. So I've got 10, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So if my calculation is correct, then there are 12 fish, the ones remaining, and I've got to complete that pictogram, remembering that using the key, each circle is 4. So that should be 4, 8, and 12. That's 2 marks. That's quite a lot of work to do for 2 marks, but it should still be a good win there. Now I think in an exam, when you're looking at your paper, algebra is probably the one that should be the simplest because there's very little reading to do here. Just got to read the key word, which in this case is simplify, which means collect the like terms, and there's not a lot that we need to do for 1 mark in terms of reading, but you've got to know what the technique is. So I've got 6a minus 3a minus 2a. So 6 minus 3a, imagine I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I take away 3 of them, and then I take away another 2. I've just got that 1 there. Obviously I should have plus between all of those, so you don't think it's multiply. Okay, so I'll leave with 1a. Don't need that 1, but just showing for what's there. Then simplifying, but this time there's got some multiplication. So I'll do the numbers first. 35, a times b. There we go. So we've done quite a lot of marks, just 3 minutes. Let's look at this one. Do we have time? It's a 3-mark question. If you know how to do stem and leaf, have a look at my videos. The main thing here, get a mark for the key. Just go, well, pick any number. 2/6 equals 26. So all the tens are going to go here and all the units would go there. Pick, say, what's the smallest number I can find there is 1 and 5. That's that 15. But maybe I'll get a mark there, I don't know. 3-mark question for today's, I'm going to skip that for now. Maybe I'll come back to it, but in the exam technique, you should have that idea that you're going to try and work through the whole exam. You might come back to this if you have time, but let's just go for those early wins. That's too much reading for me, so I'm skipping that. I'm going to think about reflection in the line y equal to 1. The line y equal to 1 is there. So 1, 2, 3, sorry, that's x equal to 1. I've made a mistake there. So y equal to 1 is actually there. Maybe I've made a mistake. That's 2 marks. I'm going to skip that as well. And jump to where I know that I'm going to get some marks. Solving an equation. This is a 2-mark question, so I'll stick with that. Solving an inequality, actually. Subtract 3n on both sides. I don't have to change the symbol. Subtract 3n on both sides. I get 4n. Greater than 10, I can divide by 4. That's 10 over 4, 5 over 2, and greater than 2.5. I don't have to change the inequality because I haven't multiplied or divided by a negative. Okay, that to me looks like it's going to be quite a lot of work, so I'm going to skip that. Moving on here, products of prime factors. Just think of any factors. It's 240. Any factors that you can think of, that's got a 0, so it's going to have 10. That's not prime, so I continue. 5 and 2, they're now prime, so I can circle them. 24, because 24 times 10 is 240. That's not prime, so I don't circle it. 12 and 2, that's prime. I think that's 6 and 2 is prime. And then 3 and 2. So now 240 is, collect all my 2's, 1, 2, 3, 4. 2 to the 4 times 3 times 5. If you're not sure about that index notation, and you just do 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 3 times 5, should be fine. 15, 30, 60, 120, 240, just as a check. How are we doing? Coming up to 6 minutes. We've definitely done more than 6 marks, mostly by skipping the ones that have a lot of reading. That one already tells me there's a lot of reading there, so I'm going to skip that. Okay, here's a picture. A lot of reading there. I'm going to go over to here. Ordinary and standard form. If you know that 10 cubed is 1,000, 10 to the 4 is 10,000, so 10 to the 4 times 4.31, think it's going to be 431, but if you're not sure, just move on. That one's got quite a lot of calculations even for 2 marks. That one feels quite a lot to work on, so I'm going to go to some more algebra here, just because I feel algebra is quick if you know what to do. So this, we need the skill here of substitution. Okay, we're coming up to 7 minutes. So f is 7, so 3 times replace that f with 7. 2 times 8. 3 times 7 is 21, minus 16 is going to be 5. That should all be correct. 21 minus 16 is 5. And then a half of g squared, so g is 8 again. 8 squared, if you know, is 64. Half of that is 32. Okay, another quick win, 1 mark, cos of 0. You kind of have to know what your cos and sine graphs. I know that sine looks like that. Sine starts at 0, cos starts at 1. So cos of 0 is going to be 1. They kind of go counter. So I'll say I know that's 1. If you don't know, if you've got a calculator in a calculator paper, you can work that out, but obviously this is not a calculator paper. Okay, converting meters into kilometers. Remember, 1 kilometer is 1,000 meters. So we've got 850 meters. It's less than 1,000, so it's less than a kilometer. So 0.85 kilometers. Again, just going for those 1 mark questions. Okay, and again, I might be moving in different order to the numbers because again, I'm mostly looking at where is it simple to read and easy to pick up marks. Here are 4 numbers, minus 7, 7, minus 4, and 4. And I've got to make minus 11. Well, there might be more than one option. I'm going to start at minus 7. Imagine the number line, I'm at minus 7. What do I do to get to minus 11? I take away 4. The minus sign's already there, so I just need the 4. Hopefully I'll get that 1 mark there. Work out the product of minus 3 and minus 4. Minus 3 times minus 4. We'll do the numbers first. 12. Signs, 2 negatives, multiplied together make a positive. 2 negatives don't always make a negative. 2 negatives don't always make a positive. Just depends whether you've multiplied or not. Okay, let's move on to the next page. This one is shape and geometry and looking at an image and trying to see what will it look like from different angles. So they want us to know what the plan is. Imagine you're a bird looking down or an architect making a plan. We should hopefully just see that it's just those 2. So I'm just going to do that. And then from the side, well, the front will give that kind of C shape. So from this side, I should see all 3 blocks together. Fair enough, these 2 are kind of sticking out a bit further than the others, but you would see all 3 there. Okay, 2 marks. So we've done quite a lot of marks that are quite quick. Looking over here, that's a lot of reading for me. If I'm looking for quick wins, I want to save this for later, get my quick wins in early, come back to these questions once I've banked a few and I've got a bit more time. Here again, that's a little bit more, I've got to do a bit more thinking in that one, so I'm going to leave that for later in the paper. Again, I'm only looking in the first 10 to 15 minutes of this paper to get a lot of quick wins, and then I'll come back later. Here we go, got to get something in the order of size, 2 marks, we should be able to do this. I think decimals is the easiest, but it doesn't matter whether you do fraction, decimal or percentage, as long as you get them all to the same. I'm going to go from decimal, I find that one easiest for myself, but also because they've got 2 of them in decimal already. That's 0.65 as a decimal. That's 3/5, which is the same as 6/10, which is 0.6. That's 0.62, that's 0.8, and that's 0.612. So now I know I can get them into smallest, 0.6, 0.62, oh, sorry, 0. That's why, 612, 0.62, 0.65, 0.8. So if I want to convert them back, I can say which was 0.6, it was 3/5. Then it was the 612 over 1,000. Then it was 0.62. Then it was 65%. And the largest, 0.8. That was quite a bit of work for 2 marks. But again, not a lot to read. Easy marks to pick up. And nearly at the end of the paper, question 24, arithmetic sequence. So arithmetic, adding or subtracting, looking what it's going up or down in. -6 to -4, -2 to 2, 2 to 4. It's going up in 4s, so that makes it 4n. But then look at that first term. First term is not 4, because remember, n equal to 1 would be your first term. 4 minus what would get you? -6, 4 minus 10. Check it with any of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Try the 5th term. N equal to 5. 5 times 4 is 20. 20 minus 10 is 10. 2 marks. Not bad for 2 marks. There's some fractions. They don't have the same base, so it might take a bit of working out. Lowest common denominator. I'm going to skip that for a bit. I'll come back to it later. And let's see any other questions. We're coming to the end of the paper, so these questions are going to probably get a little bit more challenging. Here we go. Probabilities. We know that they're going to sum to 1. Probability of the spinner landing on green, blue, and yellow are all the same. So maybe we add the red and the purple. We get 49. We know that's going to leave us 1 minus 0.49 is 0.51. All the same, we've got to divide 51 by 3. If you know your 17 timetable, no one does. Only know that this number comes up a few times because it's 17. Remainder 2, 3 into 21 is 7. So those probabilities would all be 0.17. Moving on, that's quite a bit of reading. I'm going to skip that, save that for later. Graphs, okay, it's got a quadratic, so if you know how to do substitution, and I'm finding nearing the end of my energy now in terms of rushing off to get quite a few marks, and these are going to be end of the question, end of the exam paper, 3-mark questions. So I'm going to leave these for later. But hopefully that kind of rush at the start of the exam, when you've still got some energy, has shown you that there's lots of quick wins. If you look at the marks, low marks, not much to read, so your cognitive power isn't too overloaded. You know, you talk about cognitive load, how difficult it is at the start of the paper, how much energy you've got, and going for ones where you know, right, I can definitely get these 1-mark questions, and look to improve your grades that way. And then, even if you've done it at twice as long as I've done here, say half an hour, you've still got plenty of time to go through the longer questions. Okay, there we go. Good luck for Friday. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share.